Hello guys, this is Reynolds here. Today we're going to be doing another war crime for the Coliseum. I recommend this only for people who have about 300 mil-ish. You can go a little bit lower actually, but let's say 250 mil depending on what downgrades you're willing to do. Going for a 1-kill quiver, nothing else. This does not teach you to be efficient at farming the Coliseum, but it's a great way to get your very first kill and is somewhat consistent, doesn't have to do any flicking or anything like that, very basic solves. So let's go ahead and show you the setup. The death fee is going to be 150k for dying here. Protect item does not affect it. We're going to be abusing the ornament kit system for, bulwark, god swords, and then there's been some recent changes to the market that also have allowed this to basically happen. This is a 10 mil here, 50 mil, so 350-ish mil. But just this year, leg guards and the helmet have both fallen below 10 mil as you've seen. And then the most expensive items, the Eldritch is going to be protected, and the Noxious Halberd. And then god swords are going to be ornament kitted, and then the Venator Bow doesn't actually need an ornament kit, I think, in this specific scenario, but it does have one just in case, and it gets protected, which is nice. You can always use protect item if needed. And then Blood Fury shards have also fallen below about 7.5 mil right now, which makes, and the Fury itself is only 2 mil. So that's going to make it fall below 10 mil. Echo Boots also fell below 10 mil total for the Guardian Boots plus the Echo Crystal, and that's another going to be pretty cheap death fee. As you see right now with this setup, it'll show you that you have a 500k death fee, and with protect item is only 491. But once you go ahead and apply all these funny ornament kits onto your items, then you can see quite a bit changes. Go ahead and wear these and see what that looks like again. Now it's only 160k. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring a ratio of roughly 1 prayer regen, 7 sand fuse, and then we'll also pre-pot a prayer regen. The rest will be all brews. I'll show you guys how to do the run. Now this setup does have double depth charge, which is optional. You really don't need it, but it is really nice. You want to try to start every wave with the Eldritch if possible. Let's go ahead and run over here and drop a brew here. So normally when you're doing the Coliseum, you're supposed to run here, and you're supposed to leave on the same tick the monster spawn. With this setup, you can even be more lenient on that. You can just go ahead and stand here in AFK. Once the monster spawn, click the Berserker and then run. And then go ahead and blast the Seer, and then one-shot the Archer. If you have any extra speckle left over, you can always use them on SGS and stuff like that, but that's really optional. Higher priority is to make sure you get the Eldritch going. I've been wondering what the Trident is for if the Eldritch is one-shotting your melee, so what if you end up having to go Quartet? Then that's what the Trident's for. So we have a typical 2-stack here. So if the Major's in front, you can usually shuffle it like this, but if the Major's in the back, it gets a bit difficult to shuffle. What you can do is just learn how to solve it, which is stand middle of the pillar for 2 stacks. The back monster will always attack first, followed by the second monster. That's the most basic solve. You don't actually need to maintain that flick for an extended period of time. What you can do is just do that flick while you run to another pillar. I usually recommend going to the diagonal pillar. It separates stacks a little bit better, and typically gives you better 1v1s. Noxious Halberd is really nice because even with Myopia, right now we don't have Myopia of course, but even with Myopia you can hit in directions like this, which really open up re-entry, and is actually more convenient for Solarflare as well. We'll just say some free prayer here by safe spawning this guy. Had nothing else to do with the prayer anyway. Myopia is great, let's go ahead and grab that. Frailty 1 and 2 and Doom are also fine. So I perfectly timed it there, but let's say you wanted to take the Rangers for the heck of it, why not? So at this point, what we can do is drag down the Shaman. The Shaman has a low attack range, so we can just put on the Din's Bulwark and run down here. We can actually have prayed range and then mage later, which is fine too, but keep it simple, we'll just pray mage every time we do this. No consequences, of course. When you're ever crossing pillars, you could just put on the Phoenix Necklace because it'll null any incoming attacks that have already had their damage calculated, which is usually going to be Rangers or one of the Manticore's attacks, depending on the timing. Now, just this year will not help you if a javelin falls on top of your head, so make sure you keep an eye out when they do those, every couple of attacks. Got any prayer left over? Let's go ahead and use them on SGSs to keep our prayer up. ZGS is kind of nice for like very rare war crime moments. It does not work on Soul Heredit. I can tell you, I have tried it. I tried to freeze him and take a little, break to drink brews, and unfortunately he is freeze immune, and I have submitted a request to some people from the wikis to hopefully add the fact that he has freeze immunity. I figured he had like 900 magic defense, no one would try freezing him, so I was like, well, I'll try ZGS anyway, and he's unfortunately freeze immune. Okay, Doom is pretty good. We can take 2 points in this. Now it's much simpler to not do the Manticore, so we'll go ahead and stand here until he gets closer. The timing for switching your prayers for the Manticore is simply when he fires his first shot, you just start switching to the other shot. Just like Cerberus. Very, very easy. Now, in the event, you have to fight a Manticore and, let's say, a Major on this side, and the Major is attacking on a pretty bad tick, which, would be the Ranger or melee in this case. What would you do? Well, you can actually cheat with your Din's Bulwark in another way, where you put on the Dins for all 3 of his stacks, and then you just do your Halley afterwards, like that. Now, that's one option. It actually works very well. It's very rare you actually take damage. I did in that case, but... Now, you don't want to do what I just did there. You don't want to ever run out and just click a Major like that, because you saw how I ran underneath it for a second. In case there are any mobs stuck behind there, they will actually see you for that tick, and they will blast you. Now, you're probably fine if you're praying Major just this year, but there are scenarios where maybe you weren't ready for it, and you just get blasted. So, just make sure you take your time with clicking the monsters. The best tip I like to do is, once you run out here, just do a control click on the monster. Never go Relentless, because you want your defenses to matter, so let's go ahead and open up our Invocation pool by going Blasphemy 3. The game will continue to favor Invocations that you already have. When we need more Invocations, we want to close them. We want to finish off, like the level 3s that are easy, like Myopia, Solarflare, and Blasphemy. Finishing those off at level 3 really helps. Usually want to kill whatever's here and then wait for the reinforcements. Let's go ahead and wait for the reinforcements now. And this, if you see on the top left there, this wave does have a shaman, so we'll go ahead and protect mage while we wait. It won't matter here because the melee will come first. If somehow you dearly messed up, right? Let's say you have this guy slashing you, you weren't paying attention. ZGS him. Stand diagonal of him, even with Myopia, you just slice him like this. Very rare that ever happens to you, but if you somehow end up in the most cursed scenario where that does happen, you have a way out. Okay, so in this case, because the Manticore's not even charged up, easiest way to possibly do this is just to rotate to another pillar and pray ranged. I could have flicked the Manticore there, but the easiest solution is also the Prey Mage. Now they're separated into 1v1s. Now I'm definitely going to have some leftover specs, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this EGS. SGS, not ZGS, sorry. And leaving on Piety is pretty nice in this setup because in case you make a mistake, on the range or melee prayers, you're much less likely to take damage because you already had Piety on for the defensive bonuses. So definitely avoid Quartet is one of the more dangerous ones. Let's go Myopia. Doom we want to cap at 2, so we'll leave it untouched as much as we can. I'm not really even going to care about this guy. First thing you can do is put on your Dins while you're tanking the Ranger. And then in between Ranger hits, you can just do your normal attacks like this. So this is a great way to solve doubles south. Don't knock it till you try it. Coliseum is dead easy. Learning is for chumps. We'll do it to this guy too. Now we have an easy off tick here, but again, learning is for chumps. Head empty, bring this guy closer. You might be wondering, Reynolds, you're just getting really lucky, not taking damage. I don't do that. My account's cursed. Well, if I just walk out here and pray mage, will that convince you otherwise? Put on our Phoenix necklace. And I could be brewing here, of course. I'm telling you, this content's easy. Relax. Heisenberg says relax. Oops. And it was fine. It's fine. Who cares? Oop. Don't mess up a major one, though. That does kind of hurt. And of course, if you have a lower prayer level, you can add 1 extra restore, drop a brew. Always a ton of things you can like personally change, or drop a combat and add an extra restore. This is a lot of combat, but you know, being 118 is really nice for Soul the whole time. Because he's actually a very fast boss fight, he's got low defenses and stuff like that. Now, you never want to go Relentless. Let's go ahead and open up the Invocation pool, because we're still hunting Myopia, possibly Reentry 1 and 2. Now only the Ranger we'll see is here. Now because we want to typically focus the south stuff first, we're going to go ahead and do that. Now I got some excess specs, so we'll go ahead and SGS heal. We'll pick up this Dragon Arrow because those are expensive. Why not? Now, you don't want to damage this Colossus below half, because the Minotaur is just going to heal it anyway. Just go ahead up. Now, we're going to lure out the Minnow, so what we do is just walk out while praying against the Manti here. And of course, you could do that while praying Mage of a Bulwark. That's also an option in case there's like multiple things you're not really sure. So some nice things to know about the Minnow is that he needs line of sight of the monster you're fighting, as well as he can't be in melee range of you. If you're in melee range of the Minnow, he won't heal things. So it's good to know if there's like a major that you're fighting, and let's say the Minnow's right here and the major's right here. This is technically melee range, so you can, you know, kill the Shaman for free. Let's say the Shaman is blocking the Minnow and the Minnow's right behind him. If you don't have Myopia, you can just reach over him and kill him with your Halberd. And then the last ditch situation, obviously, is Spray Mage, run to the southeast pillar as well. And we are sitting on a little excess spec, and we'll have Eldritch, so let's go ahead and SGS now. Either our Lightbearer is going to charge us up, or we'll proc Def Charge and get to 50. Or sorry, get to 65 anyway, so. And you can top off your prayer, because Eldritch overheals anyway. Frailty 1 and 2 is actually a pretty good one to take. We gotta bring this guy a little closer. Major and Ranger, what do? You just pray Mage with the Bulwark until this guy gets closer. Take 1 or 2 rounds of attacks. You're good to go. Now, in case you have an uncharged Manticore on this side, while you're bringing these monsters closer, don't worry, they'll never finish fully charging and start firing before you get these guys closer. That's a good tip. You can basically ignore uncharged Manties. Now this pillar is blocking the line of sight of this Minnow, so he won't stop me. Now we'll need to bring this guy closer. Now, good to know, but not necessary to know, is this guy actually won't see you until the second tick, so you can actually off-tick like this. But you could also just pray Mage and lure it closer. I'm just teaching you guys on the side in case, you guys want to learn a little bit, possibly return. Plus, the more you know, the more you're minimizing chances of dying when you pray Mage. Even if those chances are like, let's say 1%, actually learning it on top can bring it down to like 0.3 or basically 0, So this is a typical pyramids triangle solve. I'll be teaching you guys this, but you can just use this knowledge also to separate the stack. The proper way to do it is if you want the front one to be off-tick from the back one, you want to step one away from the pillar and pray against the one at the front. And the tip of the triangle will attack on the second tick. So what we're going to do is just take this knowledge, run to the south pillar, while praying correctly for 2 rounds attacks. And that'll separate them nice and clean without taking any damage. And now you just have some nice 1v1s sliding on over. So, I haven't really used the Aegis for much war crimes, but it's there, just in case. It's pretty good for if you accidentally unstuck a Minnow that you didn't mean to. Now, we're going to be sitting on some specs, so let's go ahead and use a little bit up. Even if the SGS hits a 1, still pretty decent value. Gives you a bare minimum of like 5 prayer or something. And this setup has a lot of prayer bonus, you know. Solarflare is excellent. We can take that to level 3. It's not even a major on this wave, but who cares? Okay. Go ahead and wait for reinforcements here. A more efficient player would start hitting these, you know, while we're waiting, but in this case, we'll just chill. When 2 Manties are stacked on the same line of sight, what will happen is they'll take turns firing, which is good to know because you know not getting blasted by both at the same time. Just make sure you're careful not to like enter a second Manticore's line of sight while the first one is already firing. That will kind of screw you over. What you want to do when you're waiting for reinforcements is just like a single minnow. Typically you want to stand like here, because it'll line up these monsters nicely so they don't actually trap the minnow. If you want to trap the minnow, then you can stand here, but usually you don't. Okay, so we'll apply our knowledge. So we want these guys to be off tick, right? So this guy will be range and then mage afterwards, and then we'll split the stack. Oh, I was against the pillar, I didn't even realize. That's fine. I thought I was 1 away. In my head I was 1 away, but I wasn't. Not a big deal though. The setup has plenty of sustain. We do have Myopia on, but since we have a Noxious Halberd, we can still hit on this side. We'll do a quick tank test to show you the power of the setup. We gotta split the stack up into nice 1v1s anyway. Now let's go ahead and grab Solarflare too, a little bit better than Frailty. There's only range on this wave, so we'll go ahead and pre-range. It's a pretty difficult stack, you might think. But you can just pre-mage. Let's walk it off. Make sure you leave on a tier 2 like offensive prayer like this. Let's put on the Phoenix necklace as well, just in case they drop us below 20, but probably not gonna happen. Oh, it worked, but it did negate everything else. Go ahead and brew up while we walk around. Just keep doing this for a while. Nice, we got some nice 1v1s. There you go. There's actually even safe spots this guy, interestingly enough. Now, some people who have done the Coliseum probably properly are like mauling. They're like, you can't do this, can't get away with it. I am, and you stay mad. But on the bright side, for people who do and are putting in the time to learn Coliseum properly, guess what? Doing this, because it does slightly get you chanced, since it's not efficient for farming, guess what? They gotta pay up some Sunlight Splinters, which makes your Coliseum hopefully more money. You know, not accounting for the bots and stuff. Anyway, you can see how strong the setup is. Even with Doom, I'm just walking across the map, taking a nice little stroll. That's with 2 Rangers, 2 Manticores attacking me. Pretty much the maximum amount of true damage I could take. Just doing a nice little stroll. And because of Doom, we are actually chancing pretty hard if we cross like this without putting our protection prayers up properly. So we'll go ahead and do that properly. That'll still make it easy to set up 1v1s. Oops. I forgot we have Solarflare too. I thought it was Solarflare 1. And of course, when you're actually doing this, you want to have your run on. That way you take probably about half as much damage as I did. Now these Doom stacks do reset wave for wave, so we are big chillin' as soon as this guy dies. Volatility is definitely a no-go. Let's go ahead and get Solarflare 3. Nice, everything's free. Now we can just wait for reinforcements. Once we kill all the reinforcements, we can destack them. Go ahead and stand here while praying mage. Here's actually fine in this scenario because we have a nice long line. And we'll run here. The minnow is too far away in this case to stop me. Move out of the way. We'll need to destack him, so we'll just run here while praying mage. And this is actually all one nice clean solve where I can just, if I was doing the Coliseum properly, just run out and pray mage and start attacking things, and it's already a solved wave. Split them up. We'll be doing the usual. Oh, I probably should have ran to the southeast pillar. That's okay, though. More content, as they say. Okay, so now we have the 1v1 that we desire. Unlucky. Now this setup is considerably stronger than the Gutton's one I posted a while ago. It's got like 45 to 50 more range defense or something like that. Plus, it's got a crazy amount of prayer bonus on top of that. Plus, you know, Eldritch Staff, it's infinite sustain. We'll keep our defensive stats up. And we'll have quite a bit of excess spec. We'll use a little bit. We're already on wave 11. Just doing who knows what. Still have 5 brews after walking around probably 3-4 times. Still 3 full restores. Taking a ton of unnecessary damage. No flicking. Now, in case we mess up during the soul fight, we want to use SGS to heal up. It's pretty accurate. You want to be combining that with, you know, using brews at the same time. That way you can heal like really fast. In this case, Frailty is probably a bit better than Doom, especially for learners. It's pretty hard to get comboed for 80 at the same time. In case you don't get Myopia, it's going to be a little annoying because you'll have to manually, after you attack Soul, move up close. Now, there's always a bunch of tricks you can do. My primary trick I want to teach you guys is just when he does pulls, you can stand on one of his corner tiles like that and do an LOA, and that'll dodge both spear attacks because he's forced to use spears after a pull. So we'll use a pull attack, stand here, and if I do an L here, I always dodge his attacks. Memorize the timing for the 3-3 perfect prey melees. And then you can... Oh, I did not mean to do that, but whatever. You can just copy this timing into Enrage phase or below 50%. Do an L like that. We're running a bit low on space, so what we could do is we could drag the boss. A little bit more favorable position. I changed the sound idea of his grapple attack. It is a Kiro version because it's cooler. And of course you get like SGS. Let's go ahead and keep our prayer up. Let's drag him. We're running a bit low in space here. Keep in mind if I drag him again, I'm going to be out of space, so I have to start getting ready to path around to the other sides. Go ahead and Divine here. You can get a guaranteed max on the SGS, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. Wrong spot. Go ahead and lure him to a nicer spot. Oops, didn't move back fast enough. Oops. Probably in the wrong spot here again, who cares? There you go. A little rusty on the soul, haven't done this in a long time, but there you go, guys. That is an example of a war crime committed, and if that is your only KC, then have fun spending money on splinters. Please help out the Coliseum economy. We are in dire need of some Sunlight Splinter demand to go up. Thank you for contributing. Good luck on your quivers, and happy RuneScaping.